We'll hold.
We're not gonna make it.
We'll make it.
Pull up! Pull up! You did that on purpose, didn't you? We need to get to the bridge. From there, we can use the captain's neural implants to initiate an overload of the ship's fusion engines. The explosion should damage enough systems below it to destroy the ring.
Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the final mission of Halo, at least the classic version. So, we are back here on the Pillar of Autumn and we need to destroy it in order to destroy the ring. So, but first we have to fight our way through some flood, and it looks like some sentinels as well. Darn things are everywhere. They've gotten even aboard our old ship. She was a good ship. Now she's crawling with disease-infested space zombies and killer robots with frickin' laser beams on him. And apparently you can't melee them. Have a grenade. Yes. The only good flood is a dead flood. Which is kind of weird because they're technically already dead, but whatever. Semantics. We make no such distinctions. If they're attacking us, that they are the enemy, and the enemy deserves no mercy. No, I don't want to be infected. Go away. Again, I can't imagine what the floods smell like. What this whole ship smells like. Apparently there's still fires burning aboard it. Probably smells like this old, moldy, mildewy, musty, decaying thing. Like you left the fridge open for too long and something died in there, you know? Time to clean it out. We got hunters here. Oh, look, it's the mess hall where we can get our hamburger and our other stuff. Get our nice flood burger with cheese. Quarter pounder. Have a grenade. You can always tell because the grunts, they're black and they have, the grunts have fuel rod guns. This guy just really loves grenades, doesn't he? How about some shotgun? How about some 8-gauge magnum? There we go. That's what I call a royale with cheese.
The bridge.
Well, two can play at that game, buddy.
Located next to the main view screen.
Okay, okay. Hold your horses.
I leave home for a few days and look what happens. This won't take long. There. That should give us enough time to make it to a lifeboat and put some distance between ourselves and Halo before the detonation.
I'm afraid that's out of the question, really.
Oh, hell.
Ridiculous! That you would imbue a warship's AI with such a wealth of knowledge? Weren't you worried it might be captured or destroyed?
He's in my data arrays, a local tap.
You can't imagine how exciting this is to have a record of all of our lost time. Human history, is it? Fascinating. Oh, how I will enjoy every moment of its categorization. To think that you would destroy this installation as well as this record. I am shocked. Almost too shocked for words.
He stopped the self-destruct sequence.
Why do you continue to fight us, Reclaimer? You cannot win. Give us the construct, and I will endeavor to make your death relatively painless and...
At least I still have control over the comm channels.
Where is he?
I'm detecting taps throughout the ship. Sentinels, most likely. As for the monitor, he's in engineering. He must be trying to take the core offline. Even if I could get the countdown restarted, I don't know what to do.
How much firepower would you need to crack one of the engine shields?
Not much. A well-placed grenade, perhaps, but why... Okay, I'm coming with you. Chief, Sentinels!
Alright, so looks like we're gonna have to do this the hard way. We're gonna have to crack open the reactor and rig it to blow up. Cross a few wires, nothing to it.
The ship was heavily damaged when it crashed. Head to the cryo chamber. We should be able to get to the engine room through there.
Okay, will do. Back to where we first woke up, huh? Oh, go away, you flood. These guys are like telemarketers. No, I'm not interested in a premium package. And I'm not interested in... I don't care if you're some, you know, African prince who's come into a large sum of money from someone who died and you need my credit card information to... No, no, you will not have it. I'll not be scammed. Hunters. And that was a grenade that I threw against the wall. That's what they pay me for. Oh, look, they have shields now. Okay, here's cryo. Alright, well, over here maybe, in we go. Just put me back in the fridge, please. Alright, here's one place with infinitely spawning enemies unless you push forward. The Flood are entering the room off to the left there, so we need to get up there and stop them. Coming down this hallway, so... Ooh, that hurt. I need health. Charge! Charge forward! Gosh. Yep, see, they're just infinitely spawning just beyond that door there, so... Got past him. There we go, switch out my plasma rifle. Take an overshield. Then we need to crawl through the Jeffries tubes here. Hashtag maintenance access tunnels. Trying to remember which way we go. That's a dead end. Because it makes total sense to just build in these dead ends around here. As we'll see, there are a couple of areas, or well, numerous areas aboard this ship as we explore it more in this final level that make absolutely no sense from a, you know, ship building standpoint. You know, like, why would these tunnels have these weird dead ends to them and all that? Okay, got the hunters. Good. Oh, look. Grenade. How original. There's another hunter in there? Nope, it's a grunt with a fuel rod gun. You know, think about it. If Chief is like a 7-foot-tall cyborg and he's barely looking through this view slit here, how's any ordinary, like, 6-foot or 5.5-foot-tall person supposed to look through that? Makes no sense. Whoever designed this stuff clearly designed it for a 7-foot-tall cyborg like Chief, and yeah. Alright, there's engineering. Before we head there, we're going to head to the armory. Get us some guns. Lots of guns. Actually, what we really need is ammo. Through this door walks some invisible flood. I guess they must have taken over some Spec Ops elites who had the camouflage. Is that all of them? Okay, I think so. Let us get a spanker rocket launcher. Hint, hint. Who says we need to use grenades when we just have rocket launcher? Alright, light fuse, run away. That sounds like a sound plan. This is the roomiest engine room ever.
Alert! The monitor has disabled all command access. We can't restart the countdown. The only remaining option is to detonate the ship's fusion reactors. That should do enough damage to destroy Halo. Don't worry, I have access to all of the reactor schematics and procedures. I'll walk you through it. First, we need to pull back the exhaust couplings. That will expose a shaft that leads to the primary fusion drive.
You mean there's actually a procedure for manually detonating the reactor?
To multiply reclaimer.
Have access to all the schematics, and I know the procedures. Well, I mean, she would. She's a AI construct who has to know about all this equipment and stuff, but yeah, don't worry. Just follow these steps and you'll successfully, manually destroy a reactor.
Good! Step 1 complete. We have a straight shot into the fusion reactor. We need a catalyst explosion to destabilize the magnetic field surrounding the fusion cell. Explosive. I recommend a grenade or rocket. If you run out of explosives, there is an armory station located near the engine room's entrance. Analyzing. Fusion reactor number 1 destabilized. Use explosives on the other 3 reactors. That
This
is
AI
enough to trigger a
construct possesses
wildcat
far
explosion
much
of the
data.
engines.
Okay, alright. We're working on it. Okay, we've got 2 more to go.
We must keep moving. Reclaimer. Weren't you worried that it might be compromised?
Luckily, there are these little louvers that open up, allowing you to shoot straight into the reactor.
Keep it up. Only one more fusion reactor to go.
If I could just get to it, then I'll destroy it, okay? We've got Flood and Sentinels all over us, like white on rice. Alright, there we go. Let's take cover, recharge our shields.
That did it. The engine's gone critical. Based on the current rate of decay, we should have 15 minutes to get off the ship. We don't have much time. We should move outside and signal for evac. Accessing schematics. There's a service lift at the top of the engine room. It
Are
leads
you
to a
perhaps-
Class 7 service corridor that runs along the ship's dorsal structure. Hurry!
Alright, alright. I'm moving, I'm working on it. By the way, the the elite that comes down this elevator right here, in the backstory, the lore, he's been actually searching for you for the entire game, and, well, he meets you in an elevator and you blow him up with a rocket.
Cortana to Echo 419. Come in, Echo 419. Roger, Cortana. I'm reading 555. The Pillar of Autumn's engines are going critical, Flowhammer. Request immediate extraction. Approach the crash site and be ready to pick us up at External Access Junction 4C as soon as you get my signal. Affirmative. Echo 419 going on station. Echo 419 to Cortana. Things are getting noisy down there. Everything okay? Negative. We have a wildcat destabilization of the ship's fusion core. The engines must have sustained more damage than we thought.
Analyzing. We have 6 minutes before the fusion drives detonate. We need to evac now. Activating final countdown timer. When it reaches 0, the engines will detonate. The explosion will generate a temperature of almost 100 million degrees. Don't
Alrighty, we won't. I love that this game operates off the common trope that a nuclear reactor and a nuclear weapon is like the same thing or a very similar thing. That a nuclear reactor can somehow explode with the force of a nuclear weapon. Oh, darn it. Now, I'm no nuclear physicist or engineer, but from what I understand, it is pretty much impossible for a nuclear reactor to explode with the force of a nuclear weapon. They just don't work that way. Two different things, right? Apples and oranges. Both are fruits, not the same thing. Nuclear reactor, nuclear weapon, both have the word nuclear, not the same thing. That being said, of course, a nuclear reactor can have a meltdown and cause a great deal of damage and, you know, contamination of the surrounding area. We have places like Chernobyl and Fukushima to remind us of that. Also, from what I understand, the term meltdown is not really used by nuclear engineers. It's too vague of a term. I think they use the term criticality event. But yeah, essentially it's a meltdown. Anyway, I'm blabbering on and being logical when this game is anything but, so yeah. You know, so let's say that, you know, this reactor, or the reactors, are going to explode with the force of nuclear weapons, and why there is this giant long tunnel along the dorsal structure of the ship with these weird undulating hills and valleys, and this it appears to be open to the outside, so yeah, why that is, I don't know. Again, this game, if you think about it a little too much, then you start noticing things, right? You may not have noticed it at first, but your brain did.
Cortana to Echo 419. Request extraction now, on the double. Affirmative, Cortana. Foehammer inbound.
Okay, we're coming up to our extraction point.
Wait, stop. This is where Foehammer is coming to pick us up. Hold position here.
Cortana to Echo 419. 2 Covenant Banshees are approaching on your 6. Evade. Say again, evade. I'm hit. Mayday. Mayday. What the hell? I can't hold. I can't hold on.
Echo 419! Be gone. Calculating alternate escape route. Ship's inventory shows 1 long-sword fighter is still docked in Launch Bay 7. If we move now, we can make it.
Alas, that was the end of Lieutenant Carol Raleigh Foehammer. Alright, kind of a sad moment. But what isn't sad is that weird section where we were sitting on that bridge waiting for pickup. That it appears to connect 2 massive halves of the ship, that one tiny little bridge. That's a point of structural weakness, and it makes no absolute sense from an engineering standpoint, so I don't understand. The ship is flawed and yeah, it's weird. Why are these little ramps here? I don't know. Why does this tunnel we're in seem to go back and forth, and why is everything exploding and
Up ahead, there's a gap in the bridge. At top speed, we should be able to clear it.
we didn't make it. Alright, 2 minutes. Let's get going. Or maybe she was talking about this gap.
Move! We need to get aboard now!
Just run. Just run and jump and shoot and pivot. Luckily, Chief can outrun all of the flood, even though they're literally like 2 feet behind him.
Here we go.
And thankfully, Chief somehow knows how to fly this longsword fighter. He's trained, of course, in every single weapon and vehicle in the entire UNSC arsenal. He's a pilot, he's a tank driver, a tank commander, an infantryman, and He could probably fly the Pillar of Autumn too if he had to, you know.
Shut them down. We'll need them later. Fancy a look?
His hitboxes need some work there.
Did anyone else make it?
Scanning. Just dust and echoes. We're all that's left. We did what we had to do for Earth. An entire Covenant armada obliterated, and the Flood. We had no choice. Halo, it's finished.
No. I think we're just getting started.
But we need to go back for some guy named Dustin Echoes. A lot of people thought that's what she said. No, she said Dust and Echoes. And she takes off his helmet, but we never see his face, as it should be. Alright. Well, we saved the day. But as Chief says, we're just getting started. Okay, people, so that was Halo Combat Evolved, the classic version. I don't have too much to say about this in terms of a review because most of my enjoyment of this game runs off pure nostalgia factor in a way. Halo, in many ways, kind of rekindled my enjoyment of first-person shooters, at least on consoles, particularly since the original Xbox was my last console that I ever did own. I have many, many memories of playing many hours of Halo when I was in high school, and it was certainly a joy to replay it now. That said, I mean, I think even at the time when I was young and when I was playing Halo back in the day, I realized that there wasn't really a whole lot to it. It pretty much, in many ways, is kind of just a corridor crawler, a Doom clone, if you will. I mean, what really makes it or breaks it is just the different AI routines that the different Covenant species and the Flood use, which does make combat fairly challenging. I still think that the AI, particularly for the Covenant, is one of the better parts of the game. So the elites, the grunts, the jackals, the hunters, they all have different ways that you need to fight them, and when they come together, then it can present quite a bit of a challenge. The difficulty levels and the way they scale is also a very, very, very good way of, I feel, doing difficulty scaling in a video game where even on Legendary, it doesn't really feel that unfair. It just feels like the enemies are more accurate and you lose health quicker, but it's not like they become, inhumanly fast or omniscient or anything like that. I do feel, like many others, that the first half of the game is much better than the second half. Once you kind of become introduced to the Flood, and, once you hit the library, that mission, then the story of the game and the gameplay, it doesn't necessarily go downhill, but it just kind of stagnates. It sort of plateaus and just becomes the same. The Flood, the way they're introduced is very unique, and in a way, it's a very horror-esque convention in this video game, which, on the surface is a simple, straightforward military sci-fi shooter. But with the introduction of the Flood, again, you have space zombies, and in which case the game pretty much does turn into a classic Doom corridor crawler, where the enemies just charge at you and you shoot them. Some of the later levels, like Two Betrayals and Keys, are fairly decent, but apart from that, every time you're fighting the Flood, it's just they run at you and you shoot them. The story isn't really anything incredible, although it is, interesting if you take the time to really dig into the lore of it. Now, from my understanding, Bungie did originally intend for Halo to just be a trilogy, so there's that. Of course, it in many ways taken on a life of its own, and Master Chief has become an incredibly recognizable video game character, right up there with the likes of Mario and Sonic and Link and Gordon Freeman and the Doom Slayer and Duke Nukem and all that. So like I said, it's very much a nostalgic game for me. I enjoyed this playthrough. Of course, the more you think about it, the more you try and apply any kind of actual reality to the game, the more it falls apart. The more the story and some of the story conventions and tropes and things like that in the game really don't make a whole lot of sense, but whatever. It's a fun, silly military science fiction shooter, first-person shooter, and one that defined kind of a new era of video games, of console video games for many people, myself included. So for those of us who grew up playing Doom, who played Quake, who played GoldenEye 007 and Perfect Dark, we, had another game, another first-person shooter to play, and that was Halo Combat Evolved. So like I said, eventually I'm going to get on to replaying Halo Combat Evolved, the Anniversary Edition, in which case I'll probably be feeling my eyes bleed from the updated graphics and some of the sounds, but we're going to do that. I'm kind of debating, I might mix it up and change up the order in which I'm going to play these games. I might go back and play Reach first, or I may just go on to playing Halo 2. We'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll just jump to Halo 2 and then do Halo 3 and then go back, play Reach, and then play Halo 1 Anniversary and Halo 2 Anniversary. So again, I don't know. It's debatable. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, that was Halo Combat Evolved. Hope you enjoyed. So I will see you later for the next Halo Let's Play.